Hi, good afternoon. I'm Kim Bess with WGTV. You never know where we may show up within the city of Goldsboro. And today, here I am at the Herman Park Center. I am attending an awards banquet for the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities. So let's see who's going to talk with us today. Hi, Miss Pat Yates. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Kim. Good to see you.
Pat, can you tell me what is this committee and what is its overall purpose?
This is the Goldsboro Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities, and primarily we're an advocacy group representing persons with disabilities who have needs in the county. We also work very strongly to assist them with finding employment.
All right, so do you all meet on a regular basis, Pat, or is this something you do sporadically?
We meet monthly, but we provide services throughout the year.
Okay, can you tell me a little more detail about what this banquet here today is about?
Once a year, we ask the community to share with us their nominations for outstanding individuals, businesses, and agencies who provide opportunities for persons with disabilities. And we like to present awards to them and invite the community to assist us in recognizing them. And the purpose of this banquet is to do that today.
Wonderful. Now, all of this is run through the city of Goldsboro. Can you tell me the association with the city?
Oh, gosh, we've been with the city for decades in this process. I want to recognize the Community Affairs Department of the city of Goldsboro. Help me with names. Sue Chance. Sue Chance there has been the moving force behind this, and her staff, and LaTerry Ward, who chairs that department, is a great sponsor of all of our activities. And of course, our Mayor, Al King.
Of course, our Mayor, and I'm sure he'll be here today.
Yes, you will.
Will you tell me what kind of association you all had with this particular committee? What is your role?
Well, let me introduce Jeff Wicker. Jeff is the volunteer coordinator at O'Berry Center, but he also serves our committee as the awards banquet chairperson. He takes care of all of the logistics and makes all the arrangements for today. But he likes to be a behind-the-scenes person, but we wouldn't be able to get much done without him.
So, Jeff, you organized this entire event?
I'm the chairperson for the Banquets Award Committee, and myself, along with a group of volunteers from the committee, we get together and plan this and organize it and put it on. And also, I am the membership committee and the bylaws committee. That's my positions that works with our mayor's committee.
Well, Pat, can you tell me what your association is with the committee as well?
Well, I'm vice chair, and I'm the chair-elect for next year of the committee, and so I am honored to have responsibilities to do with programming and helping to keep the leadership going for the committee.
Well, thank you both. I hope you will stay tuned and watch the entire banquet. The mayor will be here and several other representatives from around the community. You never know where we'll show up, and this is what's happening in your community.
Hello. Welcome again to another one of our events at the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities. My name is J.B. Rose III. I am the Master of Ceremony. And first I want to say, it's an old saying, if there's a doctor in the house. Now, I'm not for sure if we have a doctor in the house, but we do have an undertaker in the house. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind. At this time, we're going to have a warm welcome to our Mayor, Mr. Al King, followed by Commissioner John Bell, in that order. Let's give our Mayor a warm welcome, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. On behalf of all of our great citizens, and you're among them, and some of our very special ones, I want to welcome you and thank you for attending this very special event. And on behalf of our City Council and great people, our City Manager and staff, our Assistant Managers here, Tosh, awesome Tosh, thank you for everything you do for us. Our Manager will probably be here before it's over, but he had another commitment, so if he doesn't, he's with us. I look forward to this every year. It's very, very special, and I have an awful lot of special needs individuals who I only see at this meeting, and I've already bumped into quite a few of them, and I tell you, it's just my pleasure and my privilege to be among them. And I'd like to especially thank them for all that they do for Goldsboro in general, but specifically for persons with disabilities. And to all of you who commit so much of your time to this very, very worthwhile cause, I want to personally thank you. We appreciate it. I've been known to talk a long time, but I could say a lot. I'm going to sit down now and Again, thank you so much for coming, and our city council, we have Reverend Williams here, I don't see any more, but they too, thank you for all you do for us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You know, I always tell the mayor, he always get up and speak before me. Just about every occasion that we have, they always call on the mayor first, and then I follow him. But remember one thing, you get to the county before you get to the city. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you all and welcome all of you here to this grand occasion. This is a very important group of individuals. I don't call them disabled or whatever some people call them, but I just call them special people, you know, and they're very special in my heart because I've been there and done that. So on behalf of the county commissioners, I want to welcome all of you here to this meeting. Thank you.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, we're blessed in that Thou hast allowed us to be in attendance to this grand occasion. We acknowledge that our very lives are deepened and matured by meaningful relationships in the human family. We're blessed with the warm acceptance of friends and loved ones. Let these and all thy blessings shape us into persons more prone to giving rather than receiving, and more given to gratitude than complaining. Bless the food and bless all the provisions of this day. And this we ask in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
I hope everybody's enjoying your lunch. We're going to proceed with the program. If there's anybody that wants seconds, feel free. We're shutting down the line to my right, but the line to my left will be open, so feel free to get seconds if you would like. At this time, our committee member, Ms. Naomi Colley, will come up and announce our speaker for today. Let's give her a round of applause, please.
Good afternoon. Mayor King.
How are you?
I stand before you to introduce the speaker for the hour, Tyrone Starkey. I'm not going to read to you his bio. I'm pretty sure you've read that for yourself. But what I am going to do is to share a few comments about Tyrone. Tammy Bishop, Tyrone's supervisor, states, Tyrone is a hard worker with a passion for his job. He connects well with students. He is the epitome of the can-do spirit. He is a great asset to the pre-curriculum program. Dr. Kay Aberson, president of Wayne Community College, shared these words. Tyrone Starkey is a role model for Wayne Community College students and staff alike. He has met his challenges with tenacity, optimism, and now SUCCESS, success. I am proud to know him. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Tyrone Starkey.
First of all, let me say that was amazing right there to hear comments from your fellow employees of that magnitude is undescribable. I want to say I was pondering on what to say when I came here today when I first found out that I was going to be giving this speech. I remember when Naomi came to my office and she asked me, well, Tyrone, whenever we have the banquet this year, we would love for you to do the speech. And immediately I jumped at it. I was like, yes, I'll do it. Because I thought it was such a great honor, and it is. As we all know, special population is something that's a sensitive thing because without special population, it's hard for us to find work. And I'm a testament to that. Growing up, you know that things aren't going to be as easy for you as everybody else. As I was coming up, I can remember my mom would tell me stories of, they was wondering why this wasn't happening or why I was not developing the way I should. And they went to the doctor and the doctor told them something that most parents don't want to hear, that I did have a disability. My disability was diagnosed as congenital muscular dystrophy. So from that point forward, my whole life was changed differently. I knew my road wasn't going to be as easy as the next man. But that did not stop me from doing what I knew I had to do. From elementary on, I remember they put me in a special classroom. I guess they thought my limitations was not just physical, but mental also. I was told that you're not going to catch on as fast as everybody else. So we're going to put you in this arena right here. But quickly I disproved all the therapists and doctors, and I was integrated into a traditional classroom setting. Even there, the hurdles still came. I can remember I still had remediation classes because with things such as math wasn't so easy for me. I had to take a little bit extra time than everybody else to get it. But that didn't stop me. And I can remember my instructors telling me that I just wish half of my students had the tenacity that you had. And as I'm sitting here today, many of you I've known coming up, and I hope Dr. McCullen doesn't mind me putting a plug in on her, but as I was sitting here, she came over and spoke to me and just shook my hand and said how proud she was. And I remember she was my principal when I was in elementary school. And many of times she came to me and just told me how proud she was as a youngster. And it didn't really register then, but now I appreciate that, those words of encouragement. So as I got to high school, and as you know, as a young man, you get to high school and most people are trying to get their car and they're talking about going to the military and they're talking about working and they're getting married and all these things. I was there stuck. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. All I knew was I had this limitation, and I didn't see people out in the community working with limitations. When I went to the doctor's office or I went to the bank's office, I didn't really see nobody in a wheelchair. They're doing those things. I didn't really see people on wheelchairs and TV having prestigious jobs like I wanted to have. But despite all of that, I knew I had to try. I would not stop. There was something in me that told me I can't just stay home and play PlayStation and Xbox at the time. No, I couldn't do that my whole life. I wasn't going to accept this is what you're going to do. And I'll never forget that day, retired vocational rehabilitation counselor Richard Christian came to Eastern Wayne High School, and he talked to me about going to college. He told me that, we can make a path for you. You could go to Wayne Community College, take these classes, transfer on to a 4-year college and go on and get a job. And you know what, that was the first time somebody gave me a plan. You know, because I thought in my senior year after I graduated, that was it. So I remember I enrolled in Wayne Community College of the fall semester of 2001. And there was another hurdle. The hurdle of all through grade school, I always had an aide that assisted me in the other classes and things like that. And I got to Wayne Community and I realized some of the things you got in grade school, you don't get when you go to college because you're an adult. You got to seek it on your own now. And I remember my mother was there and we was talking about VR and we were trying to find some kind of resolution to this problem. And they said, well, we're going to help you out, but it's probably going to take a while. And my mother took it upon herself to come with me for every class I ever took, all the way to the point I got my associate's degree in 2004. And it got to the point to, if people saw me, they asked me where my mom was at. You know? But you know, that meant a lot to me because it helped me grow and be active at the college. It helped me get leadership skills with being the vice president of the Human Services Club and joined the Minority Male Mentoring Program out there, being the vice president of that, showing that I had leadership qualities and building on these things. And then after that, I decided, I was like, well, okay, I've done this, but I want to go and my goal was I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to go into counseling. So I knew my education couldn't stop there. I went on to North Carolina Wesleyan, and I took the night classes at accelerated pace. But that same obstacle was still there. I still didn't have no aid. And that's the thing about when you're special needs. There seems to always be some kind of obstacle that you're going to come across. But even when that happens, you got to find a way to jump over that hurdle and keep going till the next one comes along. So again, my mother took it upon herself again to go to those 4-hour classes at night, twice a week. And I obtained my bachelor's degree from Wesleyan. I remember, I never forget that day. By this point, I was, you know, my father had passed, and I continued to stay in my classes, and I got to the point, it was December 2006. And I'm in Rocky Mount, in this room, big old room, kind of like this one. And I looked at my accomplishments. I remember I was like, man, about 2 years ago, well, about 3 years ago, I would have never thought I would be here about to receive a bachelor's degree. And when I rode across that stage, I just remembered, I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was just a moment of just something you just couldn't explain. So after that, I wanted to work. And I remember I talked to Eric Perry and Tammy Wade of VR, and I was like, hey guys, look, I'm ready to work now. I got a bachelor's degree. You know, I'm ready to go out in the workforce. Now I want a 9-to-5, and I want to, you know, be independent. You know? And they were like, okay, well, we're going to help you out. And I just remember, it seemed like it just wasn't working. Like, it was hard for me to find that job that I really wanted. But as I think of those times, the actual thing that was really holding me back was still myself. Because in my mind, I still knew I was special needs. And there were certain things like, if I got the job, who would maybe be there if I fall out of my chair? You know, if Gateway didn't pick me up on time, how would I get to work? You know, these are things that special needs individuals face. Some of us, we get in our car, we crank it up, we're not worried about it. If the car don't work, I just call somebody else to hop in their car. It's easy like that. But your whole mindset is changed when you have these hurdles that you have to deal with. So going back to the jobs, I applied for them, but I was still hesitant. So after a while, I was like, well, hey, I want to get my master's degree, but I wanted to do it on my own terms this time. I did not want the help of my mother, and not that it was a bad thing, but she had sacrificed so much of her time for me to obtain 2 degrees. This is something I wanted to be my shining moment. if I got a master's degree. So I decided to enroll and obtain my master's in science and psychology. This was 2007. And in 2009, I received that degree. And now I remember, man, I looked down, got that degree, and I put it on the wall, and I'm like, man, I'm a master now. Like, there's a few people in my family that got a master's degree, so I'm like, man, I'm at the top of my family right now. And I was like, well, I got a master. I ain't guaranteed to get a job right now, you know. But that didn't happen. A year passed by, and it seemed like all the applications I plugged into the community, it seemed like all of them had like the same blueprint of the letter I received back. I'm gonna kind of paraphrase, but it was something along the lines of, Dear Tyrone Starkey, we appreciate you applying for this position, but we regret to tell you that you did not meet the work experience required for this job. Academically, you are excellent, but because of this, we cannot hire you. Please check back again at another time. And I'm like, I won't want to check another time. I want the job now. You know, but those are the things I was like, well, okay. I didn't let that hinder me. And I remember a friend of mine, DeMarcus Reed, that works at the college. I was telling him about my dilemma. And he told me, you know what, Tyrone? He's like, you should talk to Anna Rollins. And I came in and I remember, well, I talked to Miss Rollins on the phone and she was like, you should volunteer. And I was like, well, hey, that's a good idea. When I was a student, I did do some tutoring out there and I thought I was pretty good, you know. So she was like, hey, that's what we're gonna try. We're gonna get your name out there and maybe you never know what doors open. And if anybody everybody that knows me in this room know that I'm a hopeful individual. Everything I've done has been built on hope. So that's all she had to say. Hopefully something will happen. And I was right behind her. I followed the blueprint she gave me. So I called Chris Denise up and I was like, hey Chris, now I would love to volunteer. You know, this is my specialty in psychology, but I'll do anything you want me to. And they were like, hey, and he came in and I helped out and I remember I was only doing, I think 2 hours, like maybe twice a week or something like that on a volunteer basis. And I never forget that one moment Chris came out there and we were talking about what I do and we were talking about my education and anybody that knows Chris knows he gets excited when you start talking about certain things. And his eyes lit up whenever I told him I had a master's degree in psychology. And just right there, he hired me for like 5 jobs. Right there. And he was like, we can put you here, here, here. I was like, oh, okay. But it made me feel good. And just being able to help people was something that at the time, I wasn't getting paid. But when I got home, it made me feel something really good on the inside. Knowing that I worked, I helped somebody, and that at least I was doing something productive. So it only took a month before I got hired part-time at Wayne Community College in the Academic Skills Center. And I remember I came in all the days that I was scheduled, and I had a passion with me of wanting to form a relationship, not just help somebody. I asked the students about how was your day, how was your weekends, how are things going at the house, you know, how's your relationship going? Because even though this is an academic institution, these things flow into your academics. And Chris and everybody else saw that I built a rapport with everybody I helped that, you know, not to toot my own horn, I think was unmatchable to most people. And then, to the point now, I never forget the position of pre-curriculum achievement coach popped on the job vacancy. And I was looking at the job description, I was like, hey, now I can do this, you know, helping at-risk kids succeed and achieve their goals, keeping them on task, time management, prioritization, scheduling, encouragement. I'm like, this is almost being a counselor. So I applied for it, and I remember I got a call for the first interview. First interview ever that I ever got, and I was so nervous going into the room. And when I got in there, I finally realized, I told him, I said, this is my first interview, and I said, I'm nervous. But then I just went through, and I think I was like a professional. Nobody could tell. But now, all the way up to now, I've been working as a pre-curriculum achievement coach for 2 years. During this time, last year I was the recipient of Employee of the Year, and I got a chance to meet Mr. Al King, Mayor King last year, and made some good friends from this event from last year. But the main thing I want to share is that if you're special needs or not, you have to have the mentality of life's not easy. There's always going to be some heartaches. There's going to be some tribulations. There's going to be some setbacks. But on the other side of that coin, there's going to be some success stories. There's going to be some tears of joy. There's going to be some trophies on the wall. You know, and all, these are the things that I strive for. So I know this is being put on TV, so hopefully by the time I get done, that the person that's at home like I was before I started working at Wayne, waiting for that job to come through, my message to them is don't give up hope. Keep that fire and desire that you have. It worked for me. I look forward to seeing what the rest of this year has for me. And before I go, I have a couple of things I wanted to say, so I had to write them down. Please, if I don't call your name, do not think that you're less important, but I had so many people touch my life in my lifetime that I'll be here probably all day trying to thank everybody. I just want to thank the President of Wayne Community College, Dr. Alverson, Vice President, Dr. T. Peggy Tagoon, President of Student Services, Gene Smith, Vice President of Continuing Education, Ray Burrell, Director of Academic Skills, Kristen Neese, Department Chair of the Pre-Curriculum Department, Tammy Bishop, my co-worker and achievement coach, Lisa Taylor, who's not here today, my co-worker, coordinator of the 3G program, and achievement coach, Demetrius Sykes, Tammy Wade, vocational rehabilitation counselor, Eric Perry, VR counselor. I also want to thank Gateway Transit, my family, my beautiful fiance, Leah Melrose, and my mother, Evelyn Starkey. I want to say thank you to everybody that, like I said, that I didn't mention. This moment right here is not just mine, but everybody that's helped me get to the point that I am now. Thank you.
Now, please present to you our first presenter. I'm Pat Yates. I'm the Vice Chair of the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities. And our first presenter today is Colonel Kolcheski from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Colonel Kolcheski will be presenting the Employer of the Year Award.
First, thanks for having me to this great event. It's a real honor for me to be able to present this award on behalf of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base and Colonel Levitt. She is up at Virginia today, so it's a real honor for me to be able to come and share this event with you guys. For the Employer of the Year for 2012, before I announce the organization that won it, I just looked at some of the write-up for the award, and it was really impressive to read because essentially won the award this year just by increasing self-sufficiency for some of the special needs citizens, and I just thought that was a real touching citation to read, and I just want to thank them for that and all the work that they've done. So without further ado, for 2012, the Employer of the Year is Case Farms.
All right, hello everybody. On beside Case Farm Chicken, we want to thank you. This is an honor. At the same time, we want to tell you we're here from the community, for our citizens, for Wayne County. So thank you. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce you our presenter for the Employee of the Year, Mr. John Chance of the Wayne Opportunity Center.
Thank you, Pat. It's a real honor to present this award as well. The person receiving this award does not look handicapped to look at her, but she's just as handicapped as anybody with cerebral palsy or any type of physical affliction. She's a recovering substance abuser. And as anybody can tell you who's a alcoholic or abused any other substance, it is not former. It's a constant day-to-day struggle in this person's life. It is ongoing. Jamie Johnson, country singer, has a song out, and one of the lines in his song says, the high cost of living ain't nothing like the cost of living high. Well, this person paid that price of living high. She lost everything. She had a good job with the airline. She's married, had a child, wonderful home, lost everything. And even her substance abuse even took her into some legal problems. She had a good network in the community that got behind her, even her attorney, the probation office, the Superior Court judge that handled her case when she went to court. They all supported her. She got involved in the community, in her church. Her church family is St. Paul United Methodist Church, which I happen to be a part of as well. And there were people in the community who were willing to give her a job. When she first started recovering, she worked 3 different jobs to make ends meet. And I'll tell you who those employers were. Dr. Ed Hafer, a local psychologist in town, Wayne Community College, gave her a job, as well as the Cloth Barn. And Ligon Bridges is here representing the Cloth Barn today. So, and today she works at Wayne Opportunity Center. She's on our staff at Wayne Opportunity Center. The person we're recognizing today is Leanne Sizemore. Not only has she come a long way herself, but today she's our job placement specialist at Wayne Opportunity Center, helping other people with disabilities get jobs and lead productive lives. And she's been employed with us now almost 4 years. So without further ado, I'd like to recognize Leanne Sizemore for the Employee of the Year.
For once, I don't really know what to say, and that's unusual for me.
That is unusual.
Everything you said is true. I was up here, and I really didn't know what to say because Mr. Chance is right. I don't appear to have a disability, but I do, and I've been in recovery for 7 years. And there's a lot of people that I see out here in the audience today that has been helpful to me to be successful today, and I really appreciate it. When I go out to the community working for Wayne Opportunity, one of the things that I say to people is, and I work to try to get people that are through our vocation rehabilitation here in Wayne County to place people, or should I say accept people with disabilities. And they're not disabilities that we want to share sometimes. Sometimes they are, because in my case, Because of a substance abuse, people don't accept that as a disability because they have this motto that, you know, people can stop if they want to, and I'm here to tell you that it's a job. But I will give God the glory to that. I know that that was what's and has made me successful today is my faith. And I do want to thank the communities out here that are here and that are not able to come today to thank you so much for helping people like myself to employ them because as our speaker said today, he went through so many obstacles for people to accept that he could do more than what he appeared that he could do. And I really am grateful that someone as himself, you know, has the strength and the power to stand before you today with a disability and that the community is so acceptable of that. And thank you for this award. I really appreciate it.
Our chairperson, Mr. J.B. Rose III, will make the presentation for the most accessible business. Thank you, Ms. Rose.
All right, this year, the most successful business definitely we'll feel as an advocate of the handicapped people. They have a lot of handicapped parking spaces. They definitely have a 150% accessible establishments, and they also help folks unload groceries. That would be Walmart.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Jermaine Parks, speaking on behalf of Walmart. We truly thank you for this award. And like they say, save money, live better. Thank you.
I'm honored to have the opportunity as the vice chair to make the presentation to the member of our committee who has been most outstanding this year. And I have to say, this particular member has been outstanding, I think, all of her life, and has been a remarkable asset to everyone who has known her. Our recipient really exemplifies the spirit and the mission of the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disability. She has been a faithful member of the committee for years, and she engaged me in the committee, so you know she's got to be great. Whatever she commits to, she is very responsible, and she will always commit more than her fair share to getting the job done. She brings an impressive array of talents, skills, experience, and a tremendous heart to everything that she does. She takes every task, no matter how menial, if it's cleaning up after the banquet, or if it's selling tickets, or if it's being in charge of decorations, or if it's making sure that everyone is included. She will give her very best to making sure that all parts of the job are done equally well. I'm very proud to count her among my friends. When you see her, you will see that she has the greatest sense of style of any living human being you've ever known. And that sense of style is inward as well as outward. My father's favorite word was integrity, and it was something he stressed to us as children and then as adults. This individual exemplifies for me integrity in her personal life, in her professional life, and in her role within the community. She is a longtime employee of Wayne Community College. She serves now as the Director of Admissions for Continuing Education. And in this role, she plays a key part in the college's community college's affirmative action plan. And she helps people with disabilities to enroll and achieve success throughout the college. Wayne Community, as you have heard today, has one of the best records in our community for working with persons of all different levels of skills. This individual has played a key role in those efforts. She served as the director of the compensatory education program there, and I'm here to tell you it was an outstanding model program for many, many programs that were developed throughout the state. And it's due to her efforts, many times, that Wayne Community College has been one of the main sponsors of the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities throughout the years. In 2012, this individual was elected to the Board of Directors for Wayne Opportunity Center, and in less than a year, Her fellow board members elected her secretary in an executive leadership role. It is with very great pride that I introduce to you an individual I'm so proud to know, and you all, many of you know her and will want to stand to recognize her with me, Mrs. Naomi Colley.
I'm speechless, really. I don't know what to say. But you did say some very wonderful things about me. And I'm just so happy that all of you are here today. And I hope that we will see you again next year. Thank you very much.
Our last presenter, appropriately for the Mayor's Trophy, is the Mayor of the City of Goldsboro, Mayor Al King. Mayor King.
It's a very special privilege of mine to be able to present this very special trophy. And I'll just say a little bit about the club and the recipients. They've been in existence only 5 years. The only requirement to be a member of this club is to have some type of disability, and they have a huge, huge fee per year of $10. They meet twice a month, the second and fourth Wednesdays. And there's an awful lot I could say, but I won't. I would just like for you to recognize and appreciate and give our support and thanks to a very special group of people. These people belong to the Action Club. It is a relatively new organization, 5 years, but they're doing awesome things. And I would love for them, the representative, to come up now and let me present this trophy, if I can lift it. Wow. Now this young man who's receiving this, I have known him for such a long time. And I haven't seen him for a year. And he is the president of this great organization. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Thank you for the Kiwanis Club of Goldsboro for their support for the Action Club. Thank you.
Now, that's fine. John has asked me to, he asked me to do it before I made the presentation, but I was so excited about presenting this to you, I didn't listen to him. But John, would you want to make a presentation? We can take it back up. I think we finished here, haven't we?
I'm going to stand right here. I just want Mr. Starkey to know that the county commissioners wanted to give him just a little token, and we wanted to give you a little goodie bag to take to your office and use at your pleasure. Thank you.
I too have a small token of our appreciation on behalf of our city council, our staff, and the great citizens of this city. Tyrone, we're so proud of you, and I will come to you. I will come to you and present this, but I want to say to you that I draw so much strength from you. And all of you with disabilities, we all have certain types of disabilities. But let me tell you, based on what we've heard here today, if you don't do it, it's your fault. You don't have a problem. We've listened to some stories here today where people could have given up any time and said, that's it, I quit, I can't do it. But these people will never, ever quit. and I served as Human Resources Officer for the city for 21 years, and I never assumed that any candidate who applied for a job with any kind of disability that they couldn't do it. Because I learned if you give them a chance, they can commit and do the impossible. So just give them a chance, and I'll guarantee they will surprise and shock you.
Let's give all our award winners one more round of applause. I want to take this opportunity to recognize a few people. I want to recognize Councilman Charles Williams. I want to recognize Commissioner John Bell. I want to recognize City Manager Scott Stevens. I would like to recognize Assistant City Manager Tasha Logan. I would like to recognize the Chief of Police, Jeff Stewart. I would like to recognize Commissioner Sandra McCullen. I would like to recognize Colonel Korkeski. I would like to recognize Colonel Moran. Okay. I would like to recognize our Registered Deeds, Loris Moran. I thought we seen that. I'd like to recognize the President of Wayne Community College, Dr. K. Alberston. All right. I would like to recognize all our 2012 sponsors. Wayne Community College, RHA Howell Child Care, Life Incorporated, NC Mobility, Wayne Opportunity Center, Franklin Bakery, and Wayne Public Schools, Wayne County Public Schools. Let's give them a round of applause. I would like to thank all the members of the Mayor's Committee with Persons with Disabilities for making this possible. And a special thanks to Mayor Al King for being the head of this committee. All the members of the Community Affairs staff, I'd like to thank them. And a special thanks to the City of Goldsboro Parks and Recreation, Wilbur's Barbecue, Flat Mountain Dulcimers, Goldsboro Record Printing, the Mayor's Award Committee, and the Awards Gallery. And last but not least, our speaker today, Mr. Tyrone Starkey. Let's give him a round of applause. Well, I think that this was definitely a success. We had a nice turnout, bigger than last year. We definitely appreciate everybody and speak on behalf of the Mayor's Committee. Thank you. Definitely want to see you next year, and may God bless you all. Thank you.